something extraordinary, and frankly, a bit terrifying, is happening right under our noses. The Earth is melting. I'm not talking about a summer heatwave. I'm talking about a planetary scale transformation. Across the globe, from the majestic Himalayas to the iconic Alps, from the vast ice sheets of Greenland to California's Sierra Nevada, glaciers that have stood as silent sentinels for thousands of years are vanishing. Let's talk numbers, because they tell a story that's hard to ignore. Since the year 2000, scientists estimate that we've lost more than 6,500 billion metric tons of glacier ice. To put that into perspective, imagine filling over 2.6 million Olympic-sized swimming pools with ice. Now, imagine all of that just gone, forever. It's a staggering amount, a loss that's reshaping our world in ways we're only just beginning to understand. And here's the most alarming part. This isn't a slow, gradual process anymore. The pace of melting is accelerating. It's speeding up. Between 2012 and 2023, our planet's glaciers melted a shocking 36% faster than they did in the early 2000s. It's like a runaway train gaining speed. Let's zoom in on a region often called the Third Pole, the Himalayas. This area holds more ice than anywhere on Earth outside the Arctic and Antarctic. Here, glaciers are retreating 65% faster than they did in previous decades. This isn't a distant, abstract problem. This is a crisis unfolding in real time, with profound consequences for billions of people. So, why should we care about some distant mountains of ice? Because glaciers are so much more than just beautiful frozen landscapes. They are our planet's lifelines. They're the world's water towers. Every summer, billions of people rely on the steady, predictable meltwater. From glaciers to feed the rivers, they depend on for everything for drinking water, for irrigating crops to grow food, and for generating hydroelectric power. Around 2 billion people, that's nearly a quarter of the world's population, depend on this ancient, natural cycle for their very survival. But as these glaciers shrink and disappear, that reliable flow of water becomes dangerously erratic. First, we see a flood. In the short term, the accelerated melting creates massive unstable glacial lakes. These lakes can burst their natural dams without warning, unleashing catastrophic flash floods, known as glacial lake outburst floods, or GLOFs. These events can wipe out entire villages, roads, and bridges downstream in a matter of hours. But after the flood comes the drought. Once the glaciers are gone, the water source they provided for centuries is gone too. The rivers that once flowed steadily will shrink to a trickle, leading to severe, long-term water shortages. It's a classic case of too much, too fast, followed by not enough, forever. The very foundation of life for countless communities is at risk of crumbling, and the impact doesn't stop in the mountains. All that fresh water, all that melted ice, has to go somewhere. It flows from the mountains, down the rivers, and pours into our oceans. This is a primary driver of global sea level rise, a threat that is already reshaping coastlines from West Africa to the Pacific Islands. Major coastal cities, think Lagos, Miami, Jakarta, Venice, are literally watching the water creep closer and closer every single year. It's easy to dismiss a few centimeters of sea level rise, but the reality is devastating. It means more frequent and severe coastal flooding, homes inundated with salt water, fertile farmland ruined by salt contamination, and entire communities being forced to abandon their ancestral homes. We're talking about millions of people becoming climate refugees, displaced by the relentless advance of the ocean. Scientists are issuing a stark warning. Many of our planet's smaller glaciers could disappear entirely within our lifetime. And as the ice vanishes, a dangerous feedback loop kicks in. Ice is white and reflective. It acts like a giant mirror, bouncing sunlight and heat back into space, which helps keep the planet cool. But when the ice melts, it exposes the darker land or ocean beneath. This dark surface absorbs more of the sun's heat, which in turn warms the planet even more, which then causes even more ice to melt. It's a vicious cycle, one that we may soon be unable to reverse. But this is not a story about doom. It's a story about choice. There is still hope. We are at a critical juncture, and the science is clear. Every fraction of a degree of warming we prevent, every single ton of carbon we stop from entering our atmosphere, directly slows down this chain reaction. We have the knowledge, and we have the technology to make a difference. The solutions are here, from transitioning to renewable energy, to protecting and restoring our forests, to rethinking how we live, consume, and travel. Our planet is sending us a clear, undeniable message. We can see it in the satellite images, we can measure it in the retreating ice, and we can hear it in the stories of the people whose lives are being upended. We can choose to be the generation that stands by and watches as these ancient, vital glaciers disappear forever, or we can be the generation that takes decisive action. We can act to preserve what's left, not just for ourselves, but for all the generations who will come after us. Because we have to remember one simple, irreversible fact. Once the glaciers are gone, they are not coming back. The choice is ours, and the time to act is now. If this story resonates with you, if you care about the future of our planet, please share this video with someone who needs to see it. Leave a comment below with your thoughts. And do not forget to subscribe for more science-backed stories that explore both the challenges and the hopes for our beautiful Earth. Thank you for watching.